Hi guys, back again, and we're looking, of course, this time at adjusting the compound interest formula for different time periods. If you're looking for your booklet, I think it's about what 6. If you have a booklet, now if we have a look at this particular thing, you can see that for adjusting our time period, we're going to be adjusting at the rate, and of course our amount of times that we compound, or the time period. So we look at this particular question. We've got, this particular scenario, we've got 12% per annum. Now, this, of course, means per year, and we are going to be compounding that quarterly, which means that we're going to be doing it 4 times every year. So this is an interest rate for a full year. It's not an interest rate for a quarter of a year. And so the first thing we need to do, of course, is adjust our rate in this particular question. Now, if we were dealing with a rate, we would divide it by 100, and that would give us 0.12, but that's for the full year, and we only need to know how much 1 quarter would be. So we're going to divide that by 4, and that's going to give us 0.03. And that is the number that we, of course, need to be working with around this part of the formula. Now, that we could do, and if you want to do it that way, then feel free to, but there is a quicker way, and I'll show you a little trick. So if we go 12 over 100 and we times that 100 by 4, so it's 12 divided by 400, and we put that into the calculator, 12 divided by 400, then we actually get the exact same number. So what we can actually do, technically speaking, is just times this by how many times that we are adjusting the formula for. So in this case, I times it by 4. So that's if we're looking at a particular rate, for instance. If we were going to look at time, then of course we need to think about this. So let's have a number. Let's say 5 years. But for 5 years, I'm doing it 4 times every year. So 4 times every year. So that would mean, of course, that I'm going to have to times that 5 years by 4. That's 4 times within each of these 5 years, and that means that I'm actually going to compound this investment 20 times. So what I actually did, of course, is I simply times my compounding periods by the number that I had here. It was quarterly, of course. If I change this word to monthly, then this would change to 12, so that would change to 12, and that would change to 12. So this is the idea about adjusting our compound interest formula for different time periods. So let's get in there and let's actually start off with a question and see what it looks like when we actually do it for real. Okay, so my question, nice and easy one. We're going to invest $5,000 for a period of 6 years. And we will do it at a rate. At a rate of 6%. Come on, why not? Per annum, but we are going to compound it monthly. Now, of course, we've now got to go back and we've got to do a couple of decoding things. So first off, compounded. Yeah, they'll do it. Compound it monthly. So if we look at it, that compound word, or the compounding, means, of course, that we're looking at compound interest. Monthly means that we're going to have to adjust, we're going to do it 12 times within every year. Once again, this we can check that it's per year because we've got our per annum. We've got our 6%, we've got 6 years, and we've got $5,000. So let's put everything that we need into this formula. So A, so our principal, well, $5,000 from the question. Knew this because it's got the little money sign. 1 plus our rate, which is 6, over 100, but don't forget, we need to times it by whatever this is. So I'm going to times that by 12. And our years was 6, and I'm not forget to times that also by the 12 that's sitting within our question. And that really is the difference between adjusting the particular formula. So A becomes 5,000. 1 plus 6 divided by 1,200. 6 12s are 72. But Always good to check in the calculator if you're a little bit concerned about it. Now, what I'm going to do is put everything into my calculator once again. So there's my 5,000. I'm going to put my bracket in. 1 plus 6 divided by 1,200. And close my bracket. And I'm going to raise it to the power of 72. Now, I want you to be really careful here, because if you raise this to the power of 6 and then put times 12 in, it'll raise it to the power of 6 and then times your answer by 12, and you won't get the correct answer. Unless, of course, you put a bracket into that particular point. So, popping up, we get 7,160.2. Now, I've got them rounding again, so I've got a 1 here. So, that's going to keep that 2 as a 2. So, that's money. So, we need a money sign. So, we have a look here. $5,000 of this was already my money, but that's the amount that I'll have in the account, which means in interest, I actually made $2,160.22. And I would say that if I left some money alone for 6 years and I came back and I had a free $2,160, I'd be a pretty happy man. Anyway, so that's how to adjust for the time periods. If you consider we need to times this bottom bit because we're actually really dividing. If you go back to the start of the video, you'll see that. And of course, times by the amount of times we're actually compounding it over the different years. I hope you enjoyed this. Hope it was useful. I'll see you at school.